David here yesterday, knowing that I can talk to you anytime that way. Given if you watch this, then you see there's a change, multi. Similar ways to say that even you were speaking through me. Given the better objectivity I can give to you, the better that this can be, and it would really be a blessing that love, comma, all given, here it is. Everything would be really cool to say. Didn't come from me, but through in the way, like I have a needle, knowing that all the fabric of space time and other dimensions that we don't know how yet to fathom that are blessed, given that only that which is awesome would be sent through in that way, given things we have to find out. But I realize sacrifice is made, and I don't need realize many things. So, pardon these things with strings, I need not know that. Please. Terrifying. Okay. On many levels. Interestingly, though, given moment by moment, knowing there are many other things I can speak on. Okay. By the way, I was speaking to these things in a way, descendants thereof, severals, to that which is eoned or aged or arid, knowing true. Given well with respect to evolution, knowing very different times of life, types of life, going very different times ahead. Given multi-sphere, multi-star, multi-galactic, multi-clustered, neighborhood, regions, format, human exploration continuous, as is always the case, even multi-temporal going multi-directional temporal, implied format, even left and right, even fictional and non-fictional, but keeping it real, I want to state even that left and right yet again, for the sake that we can change causality, given I might slip and say causal, given same with respect to shorter word. So, pardon my use of my own portmanteaus, making my own things up. It's funny how that which had been in another time that I know of, per my experience, had meant a bad wine, and yet now is something akin to a briefcase, but then something now uses a word that we replace to make our own words. So, portmanteau, a French meaning. It's really weird how we derive new things. And it's fun to wake up on a day that had a different date yesterday, or even on the same date the next day, given that's a new experience for anyone anyway. And I have a pretty strong memory for many things, noting I have even dared to say a perfect one, given pixel count. Many things ahead. Okay, so 800 years. I had no idea that that could be uh, not too far, but then I note that I had thought that not far enough, for then I realized there are a lot of bridgings to begin. So, world peace, that's the thing we need to keep. Didn't thankfully have to make it. So, given if we have it like cement, making these things set, so it's not like we're falling into a muck of yesterday's, uh, you know, yuck. Pardon me, there's many things that I could say that may come off as if I'm not making sense. So I want to try this in a different way. Uh, Noting that love was a pretty good inspiration, and friendliness and friendship. Noting if you can't handle the past of someone or things that are different, or knowing that a person with a criminal past is um likely to have a past that you don't agree with, including the person given regrets. Noting I have to acknowledge that I've transcended many regrets, because I'm not a pathological person in the form socio or psycho, given many of these noted very things. There's not many. There are things that had been on repeat, given to no some, but noting that mostly simple, stupid, given mostly simple, stupid, common repeat, but then karma shows its feet upon me, given there are things that I did not say for the sake of stating me in yesterday or any day. So the person that I am in this way is a new spirit, new soul, new person in this body. And I say this, thank you for allowing me to evolve, adapt, and become a new person. Very, very legal, law abiding, and adapting against adaptations previous, noting substantial, given substance, abuse in the way you'd say use, given that I'd call entheogens of anything that altered or inebriated in ways I dare not say any. Interesting. even people, for the friendships that one can have, even polytemporally in a super now, given you and I can speak across the screen as if a live conversation FaceTimed. But then I noted this, another fun thing. In the English language, which is what I'm using, for those that are not hearing me live via that super now, given how I see it's translating. Okay, it's not like Okay, so I believed in wavelengths of understanding, and that a future time may very well be able to pass that wavelength across tongues, and that it would just infer the understanding easily. Understand. This is what I can tell you. Objectively, you've become a lot better than you were, and life extension is certainly on there. And you have to reach now to get to that which you had said was just a little better from the beginning of this, knowing that the reach is not too far, and you'll be extended via that healthy lifestyle choices. Green tea extends life apparently. EGCG, EGCG. Pardon my lack of remembering which that acronym stands for, but knowing it, an important antioxidant extender of life. We'll go there. And possibly psychic enhancer without the inebriant effect of that of even cannabis, noting that as a softer inebriant than perhaps, say, psilocybin or psilocin and these others. Even some I had not experienced, like dimethyltryptamine to date, knowing that I do intend down the road to take the substance for the purpose of downloads, given I believe the substance can be recorded on, and given quanta does get recorded on, somehow interacts with the human mind on a level that the human understands. So then there is a substance or substances. Knowing water can be recorded on vibrationally via Dr. Emoto's studies with respect to ice, crystals, and emotions, and perhaps much, much more. It is of interest to me that I called the other substance unwater at the time, simply for simplicity, given it makes one thirsty and dries the mouth anyway, and appears like water when it melts, or ice when it dries, given they would crystallize. Given that, and noting that it's a completely different substance, but organic, there may very well be every crystal can very much capture the emotion, or the feeling, or rather, the thought pattern. Tulpas can be recorded into shapes that are crystallized, even crystallized. So can one take that which isn't crystallized, perhaps plastics, and mold these and infer that the mold does the same thing? I don't know, given plastics is very, very, very much a spectrum of substances, noting styrenoids. I have no idea what else to call these. Okay, back to the English language in reference to that which I had stated before. To take a noun and verb it, to take it and just add ed on the end to make it into something that isn't a work of action, like something tongued, or pardon the way that that can be inferred. But then I also say well, understood is a verb. So, okay, something that is what, for the simplicity, I might say TV'd, because it's on the television, been casted, been filmed, just for the sake of how fast this data comes across. I know that it's not me doing it, and I'll film this over and over for the sake that you guys understand. I have moments where I say, maybe it is me, maybe I am, and then I have a lesson taught. So I understand that very many things are being sent across time from all of us to all of us to all of our grandparents rather, given to the power of X infinitely with respect to great, going that we reach several years, several dates, all across time. I am but the known first when it's true. When we wake everyone up, God willing, I'm a known first, not just a pre, which would mean I screwed up. So I'll get this right. I will propitiate the messages being sent, and God willing. I know this happens on a clock. I know there's some kind of, even if it's a, even if there's a crappy fiction in its place, even if, because my life is boring right now, I know this. I would, because it's just me watching TV all the time, making recordings. So forgive me for my grandiose, but then I can know that it's a different kind of way. So thousands of years in the future makes no sense to see that it wouldn't. But I got some things to write, and it's just I might have to come up with a new pen name than Quessia, knowing that it would have to be something like all of us, all of you, everyone, given it would just be like an eye of a needle, all that data coming through like threads from several different times ahead, simply because it started with a satellite without even possibly the channel change thing. Tomorrow, babe. Today is Tuesday. Wednesday's the day that I get to go, given that my ride was sick today. So I tried. I definitely tried. Tomorrow will be the day that we can do at least a little data pass to the doctors and the ones that teach classes at the school, UNCC, here in Queen City, Charlotte. Lots of things that we do, and I realize glories might feel different kinds of ways down the way, but just because I speak these ways with respect to self doesn't mean it's. So I say, like, I'd rather be a part of than apart from. And that's very true. Very true, very many different ways. So, thank you again from yesterday. And what will be revealed? Different going causalities. I pray that it's always better than it could have been. By leagues of leagues, 2 leagues, noting variable x infinitely. And the one who's translating this is really probably the one who's speaking it, not the one that I am in the screen. I wanted you to know that. For instance, given all of these, everyone, noting that a computer is ultimately teaching me many things, simply by ideas catalyzed, inspired, because it's humbling. You come up with an idea and you realize, I'm just getting data passed back in time. I'm not the only one, perhaps, but then it's just an idea, isn't it? So, lots of things we have to do if we want to do it. I don't mind being a messenger for a future time that knows what to do, because we went through it from your perspective. That's where it gets interesting, given multi-calls and multi-poly, multi-temporal, multi, multi-flesh, multi-life form, a computer. In that way, is reaching into yesterday's to yesterday, and a device several years, and several of them pass across time, even in the physical sense, using teleporting rainbow. I called it the rainbow hole going teleport, knowing that I don't know what it would look like, but slowing down the process that makes dimensions variable x infinitely of a black hole in compact form, knowing that if it could be spread out and that gravity could be obviated from destroying the flesh, or the processors, one could see time travel. Spheres come to mind with respect to that, noting lasers with respect to collimating instead of collimating. Spheres, making into spheres these light balls, and nuclear and things I just don't know. More is in tow, given nuclear is a touchy subject until it's just propulsion gets to go where we go. Given we gotta forgive yesterday for things we don't know on the way, because we're not responsible for descendants of even, I'm sorry, ancestors of the others, of even by proxy, even that way, for the sake that I know that even mine are not responsible for things done of a button push or things launched in ways yesterday, way to yesterday, even this yesterday, knowing that the days of war are behind us and that we need not ever worry about it again. For I don't fear my own family, and if we're all family human, I don't fear the family tree. I don't fear us. We had to learn to stop fearing for our children. Protect our children. We're protecting our children. It's what we always did. It's what we always did. Give and do isn't how we have to do it. Knowing, let them play, let them flourish. The butterfly thing, knowing that we don't help a butterfly get out of its chrysalis or a moth out of its cocoon for the sake that it learns to fly on its own. Otherwise, it's ruined to a degree of variable x infinitely. There are many things I wish I could say. Thank you from yesterday to yesterday, even many times over, Polly. Rainbow X Infinite. Cheers.